I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
We've all heard the wild rumors about Diddy and his infamous parties, but no one has dared to pull back the curtain and reveal exactly what goes down behind those closed doors until now. For months, it's been nothing but speculation and hearsay. But that changes today. Some new voices have stepped forward, breaking the silence to expose the truth about these parties. And what they have revealed about Diddy's hidden world will shock you. If there's one year Diddy will never forget in his entire life, it's probably going to be 2024. The year that everything that could possibly go wrong in his life went wrong. He lost respect, he lost his fan base, and if he actually pleads guilty to the crimes that he's been accused of, he's going to lose his freedom too and be put away for a really long time. But let's actually talk about Diddy's crimes, most of which seem to have happened at his infamous freak-off parties. While rumors have been swirling around about what really went on at these parties, only a handful of people have stepped out to give a little bit more detail to the public. But no one has revealed more than what Adria English has. While still trying to break into the entertainment industry alongside some of her friends, Adria supposedly encountered Diddy for the very first time. Meeting Diddy was like a major dream come true for Adria, because back then, only the biggest of the biggest stars got to cross paths with Diddy. And usually, those who Diddy liked were mostly definitely gonna make it in Hollywood. What Adria didn't know was that this kind of fame came at a huge price. According to Adria, the first time she encountered Diddy, she had a male friend who was auditioning for a modeling gig he had. Apparently, Diddy asked her friend to do some adult things with him, if you know what I mean, if he wanted to land the job, but he didn't take the offer. In comes Tamika Thomas, who Adria described as Diddy's handler. According to her, Tamika approached Adria and told her that if she danced at one of Diddy's all-white parties, aka his freak-off parties, she'd put in a good word for her friend and he'd get the job. There was a reason why she was approached about this. Before this, Adria had already made a name for herself in the adult entertainment industry, and it seemed like Diddy knew this, and so did Tamika, since she was apparently his handler. So they knew that they could easily manipulate Adria with this, and that she wouldn't be as put off by the offer as her friend was. And they were right. Because of her friend, Adria accepted the job, and this decision single-handedly turned out to be one of the biggest mistakes she'd ever made. For years following this, Diddy would use Adria in negotiations with high-profile clients and apparently force her into getting into intimate situations with these people. He'd allegedly film them while they were in the act, so that way he'd have something to use against these people whenever he wanted something out of them. And whenever Adria tried to step away, he'd tell her that whatever she was doing for him was just bringing her one step closer to becoming the star she wanted to be. And if she decided to stop, that wouldn't happen anymore. So, Adria had her hands tied. Both her life and career were on the line. Now, Adria isn't the only one who has dropped some major dirt on Diddy recently. Tania Wallace did the same thing. Tania's experience isn't just unsettling, it's the kind of revelation that changes everything we thought we knew about Diddy's hidden world. Tania recently broke her silence in a TMZ documentary where she talked about a night in 2018 when she attended one of Diddy's exclusive freak-off parties. But what she claimed to have witnessed goes far beyond the glitz and glamour of a celebrity lifestyle. It's disturbing. It's dark. And if it's true, it raises serious questions about just how far the chaos of these parties went and who else might have known about it. According to her, when she arrived at the party, she walked into a scene that was wild, chaotic, and completely unhinged. People were under the influence of so many things, and they were openly engaging in intimate acts without any care in the world. But as wild as this sounds, it wasn't what stood out to Tania the most. Or should I say, it wasn't what stunned her the most. What I'm about to say next left her completely speechless as she saw it play out live in front of her. According to her, at the party, she saw a group of people hidden in a corner of the room behind a wall of adults. At first, she thought that they were little people, which, while unusual, didn't immediately alarm her. But then she took a closer look and realized something horrific. Although Tania didn't say it out loud, she hinted that the people she saw were actually little kids, aka minors, who were at a full-blown adult party where people were performing intimate acts on each other. And they weren't just there for the show. They were also part of the party because it seemed like they were engaging in some disturbing stuff with the adults, blocking others from viewing them. Tania said that these little people were dressed like Harajuku Barbies. They had really mature clothes on and more makeup than any kid should ever have on, and because of that, at first glance, she thought that they were grown-ups. It wasn't until later that the full weight of what she was seeing hit her. They weren't little people at all, but kids. According to Tania, these children were dressed provocatively and standing in a sea of adults who seemed intent on keeping them hidden. And here's the chilling part. Tania didn't see anyone questioning their presence. No one appeared to be concerned about what was happening. In fact, it seemed as though people were actively trying to avoid drawing attention to them. So the question is, what were they doing there? And most importantly, how many other times did something like this happen at one of Diddy's parties? Tania's story is just one piece of a larger puzzle that is slowly starting to take shape. After her allegations came out, Diddy's lawyers were quick to deny everything that she had said about him, like they usually do. According to the statements released by them, Tania has no credibility, and everything she had to say about Diddy's freak-off parties was categorically false. They claim that Diddy cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, especially those that are ridiculous. But here's the thing. It's one thing if only one person makes these claims about Diddy, but it's a completely different thing when multiple people make this claim. So who should we believe? Diddy and his lawyers? Or those who have come out to share their stories after years of hiding in fear? What do you guys think? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.